All right, so we have the enrollment at a private school was initially 120 students and has been increasing by 30% each year. Formulate a logarithmic function that approximates the number of years t it will take before the enrollment reaches X students. All right, so the problem here is that it wants a log function, but we don't start off with enough information for a log function. We start off with information for an exponential function. We have an initial amount and we have a rate. That lets us know that we can start off with an exponential model. Okay, our exponential model is usually with our amount equals our initial principal A naught, what do you want to call it? 1 plus our rate to the t. Y'all remember kind of doing this in 7.6? All right, so for this problem in particular, instead of it being t of x, it would be x of t equals, and what's our initial amount? 120. And what is the rate we're growing at? 30%, so 0.3, right? So our exponential model is 120 times 1.3 to the t. That's our exponential. But what did this problem want? Our logarithmic model. So our log model means that we need to solve for t. So our goal is to get t by itself. In order to get t by itself, so right now we have x equals 120, 1.3 to the t. In order to get t by itself, this has to be all by itself before we can start anything, which is what we did on the other side of our notes. So we're following the steps for different base, I guess. Yeah. So we're going to divide by 120. And then we're going to take the log of both sides. The reason why we take the log is so that t can no longer be an exponent. Does that make sense? So we have the log of x over 120 equals the log of 1.3 to the t. This is going to free our t, and this allows us to become log of x minus log of 120 equals t log of 1.3. So we use property number 5 and property number 4. Division became subtraction. And what's the last thing we got to do to get t by itself? Divide the log, right? And what you do to one side, you do to the, and there's our equation. So here's your t of x. Okay, the benefit of this equation is that if they have a goal of how many students they want, they then can use this equation to figure out, approximate how long it'll take them to have that many students, which is what the purpose of the equation would be. So if our goal was to have 500 students, how long would it take us to have 500 students? So we plug in x equals 500 and solve from there. Okay. Your last word problem, the last one is just you doing the 500. So remember how I just gave you that example? So now that we have the formula, can you calculate how long it'll take for them to have 500 students? Yes. So you're just plugging in t of 500 equals log 500 minus log 120 divided by log 1.3. So you're now calculating.
So what about the number 7 question?